Back on August 10th, a month before the New York mayoral race, I believe that there was a gentleman who does a talk show who predicted who the next mayor of New York would be. Let's see if we can find out who that was.
So all of a sudden, I'm a fan of Bill de Blasio, and I think that ad is awesome. Now, of course, it depends on how many people see it, but if it gets out wide, I think Bill de Blasio might be the next mayor of New York City. I said it. I said it. Hear me now, quote me later.
Well, Cenk, I'll take you up on that. And that was me about a month ago, in fact, exactly a month before the election for the Democratic primary for the mayor of New York. And guess what? Bill de Blasio. Well, not only was it a crushing victory, it might be enough to even avoid a runoff. Now, it was a very crowded field. He needed to get to 40%. Let me show you where the numbers stand. Bill de Blasio at 40.2%. Now, since it's so razor thin about that 40% threshold that you need to avoid a count off, they might do a recount. We'll see how that goes. Bill Thompson at 26.2%. Christine Quinn has, of course, conceded. She was at 15.5%. John Lew at 7%. And poor Anthony Weiner, swang, wang, wang, down at 4.9%. So Bill de Blasio crushing the field, not a big deal. Now, all 5 boroughs he won. He beat Christine Quinn among female voters. He even beat her among gay voters. She happens to be lesbian. And Bill Thompson's black. He tied Bill Thompson in the black vote. So Bill de Blasio crushing all throughout. So after his win, de Blasio says, according to a tweet sent out here by a reporter on the scene, an exuberant de Blasio spoke before supporters Tuesday evening, offering my gratitude and stating that I will never forget what you have done. You have made this campaign a cause, and I thank you for elevating it to that level. Now, I love that, and I think that's really important because he's saying, look, we showed people that if you actually run a campaign as a progressive and as someone trying to stand up for all of the citizens, not just the donors, you can actually win. So it wasn't just about me, it became a cause. I think he's totally right about that, and I think it's a great development. So, got that one right. Now, I also talked about the race for comptroller's office because it had Eliot Spitzer in it. Now, that was the sheriff of Wall Street. He used to keep the bankers in check. Now, I also know him personally, and I was clear about that, and so I'm biased on his behalf. I remember when he got into the race on July 10th, I made this video. Here comes the sheriff, he's back! He's back!
Just only 44% say he's changed. That doesn't sound like good news. But wait! Turns out when you ask him, hey, does he deserve another chance? 67%, 2/3 of New Yorkers say, let him go! Let him go! He deserves another chance. Wait, gets better. Specific question. Who are going to vote for the comptroller's office? 42 to 33. The sheriff winning 42 to 33, just entered the race. All of a sudden, in the lead. I got nothing against Scott Stringer, but he was like, what happened? Where'd he go?
Well, it appears that Scott Stringer has found Eliot Spitzer and knows where he went. Apparently, he went that way. Results, Scott Stringer 52, Eliot Spitzer 48. Ooh, that's tough, man. The sheriff went out to a shootout in the middle of town, high noon, and he got shot. So, look, I'm stunned by it. I'm surprised, not because I like Eliot Spitzer, which I do, and I hope he comes back in and enters the race again in a different way. I think that he's an important voice in America, and it's a shame what happened to him. Again, this is not just because of my personal feelings. The reason I'm stunned is because he had a 19-point lead at one point. And I think what happened was he got tainted by Anthony Weiner's shenanigans in the race. And people lumped him together. Weiner, Spitzer, sex scandals. Oh, Weiner's still doing it. I don't know. I don't want any of this nonsense. And they voted against the sheriff. Now, to be fair to me, I didn't say Eliot Spitzer was going to win. I said Bill de Blasio is going to win. I said Spitzer's doing well, and I hope he wins. I actually think that that's an important distinction. It was not an official prediction. Nonetheless, I get the fail. Don't get me wrong. Fair is fair, but I'm just pointing out the reality of it. And look, as I said before, I got nothing against Stringer. I hope he's a great comptroller for the city of New York. I just think that Spitzer would have done a fantastic job, and I'd like to have him back holding the bankers accountable in the relentless way that he does. Hopefully he could do that in another way.